Welcome back to the Black and Gold Report. We're still being joined by head track and field coach Adonis Stanley. So coach, as we were talking earlier, we talked about your sprinters and your distance runners, but a whole other component of track and field is the fields part. So looking at it from the men's side, you have Dwayne Thompson, who returns in the long jump for you, and AJ Davis Jr., who's coming back in the throwing events. But how do you expect their performances to excel from last year, and what do you expect out of the competition and your newcomers this year?
As for Dwayne Thompson had a great season last year, especially at regional championships. He had both PRs in the long jump and the triple jump. But pretty much what I'm expecting out of him is that he has the potential to compete at the national level. So I'm hoping that this year, his training has been going well during the fall. So hopefully he'll be able to qualify at least provisionally in the long jump and triple jump this year. As for AJ Davis, he had stellar performances also at regional championships this year, and I'm just pretty much expecting him to progress more than he did and have better or greater performances than he had last year.
Do you have many newcomers in both the jumping and throwing events?
On the throwing events, no, we don't have any newcomers on the jump side, but we do have one freshman, Eric Upchurch, who I think is going to be in the future a great thrower for this program. He competed in Junior Olympics in high school, so it's nothing but upside for him in the future here at this program.
Right. Well, on the women's side now, you did lose Catherine Davis, who was a two-time school record holder in the discus and the hammer throw, but you returned Kiera Tennyson, who you said was going to be one of your key leaders this year. She also holds a school record in the high jump. How do you expect your throwing and jumping events to stack up in terms of the competition this year?
Catherine Davis was a huge loss, and to say that we only got in one thrower for the women's side this year, and who is Hannah from Bunn High School. So, and she's pretty much a distance thrower. So it's a lot of development going on for her in the shot put and the hammer throw this year. So I think once she develops in more than just the discus events, then it's nothing but more success for her in the throw side. And as for Kiera Tennyson, she did go to nationals in the high jump in 2010. So hopefully we can get her back there this year.
Yeah, she missed out by just a little bit this last year. Track and field is a different sport than most at UNCP because it competes as an independent. It's not grouped to any conference. How does competing against Division I schools, sometimes Division II and Division III, as well as NAIA schools, better the performance of the team?
Really, I don't look at division when it comes to track and field because there are great athletes on the D1, D2, and Division III level. I just pretty much just look at it as if it's great competition out there on the field, I expect them to go out there and push themselves. I think it kind of, competing against the bigger school kind of pushes them to push even more harder than they would versus running against smaller schools. But I think they get the same quality training here, just as D1 schools get. So pretty much it's just whatever they're running against at that particular meet, just pushes them to work that much harder.
Right. There are a lot of new faces that we've talked about already, but for some that we haven't talked about, can you talk about the chemistry that you've seen amongst practice and in the fall this year, and then what you have coming in as well?
This year is a rebuilding year for the track and field program. We lost a lot, as you know, we lost a lot of depth on last year, so this team is pretty young. It's a lot of development going on. It's a lot of them getting used to how I am, and I'm getting used to how they are. But as we gradually go along through the season, it's becoming a little more better, because they're getting a little understanding of who I am and what I expect out of them, and vice versa. So as the season progresses, I see great things, for this team this season.
Right. Well, you said it's a rebuilding year, so obviously that moves us into the recruiting process.
Right.
What do you look for in an athlete when you recruit, and how would you explain your recruiting process when you're in the heart of your season? Most track and field events for high schools are at the same time that you're traveling with your team.
Pretty much what I look for in the athletes is to see if they would connect with the chemistry that's going on this team, and pretty much to see if there will be a support into the vision that I'm trying to take this program. I look for to see if they're coachable, and if they have great work ethic, and if they have those two main things and discipline, they'll be a good fit for this program.
All right. Well, thank you for watching this week's edition of the Black and Gold Report, and until next week, go Braves.